Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good day. We are talking about Unit 9, Lesson 2, carrying over from Lesson 1. So we're still talking about solving the quadrilateral and linear system. So we're going to call that a QL system. And we're also going to talk about determining the number of solutions that we have. So determining number of solutions. And so let's look at what we have going on here. So I'm going to make up a couple of equations to make up our system. So I could have y equals x squared minus 3x plus 5. There's my quadratic. And y equals 2x minus 7. There's my linear. And so if we're thinking about solutions, remember what a solution is. A solution to a system is where the lines intersect each other. And so if we have a quadratic, think of what the graph of a quadratic looks like. It's a parabola. It may be skinny, it may be wide, flips upside down, but nonetheless it's still going to have this bowl shape. And then a linear function, remember that's going to be a line. It may be real slanty or not so slanty and pointed the opposite direction. And so we want to talk about the possibilities of how these two things could intersect. So let's look at our options here. So I have my x and y axis, and I have my parabola, and it doesn't matter if it's skinny or wide or flipped over the other way, it's still going to work the same way. So what options do we have here? Well, my linear equation could run straight through the middle like this. And so notice how many points of intersection do I have? How many solutions do I have? So my two lines intersected once right here, so there's one solution, and then again right here. And so I end up with two solutions. And then what else could we have? What else could be going on? So here's my x and y axis again. I'm going to draw my parabola one more time. And so another option that we could have, instead of the linear function going straight through my quadratic, it could just kind of skim the side. Let me see if I can draw it. Yeah, just like that, where it just barely, just touches it, just kisses it one time right here. And so we end up with just one solution, and that's definitely a possibility. And then the third possibility, that's always a possibility in any system, is they could perhaps not touch at all. So here's my x and y axis, and again I'm going to draw my quadratic. And we definitely could have the option where my line just falls short, never actually touches it. It's either completely below or completely above it. And so they never intersect each other, so I actually end up with no solutions. And there's a formula to figure out how many solutions we actually have before we go about trying to solve the system itself. And the formula has a fancy name. It's called the discriminant. So we want to find out number of solutions. And we're going to find that by using the discriminant. Fancy word and tiny little formula. So where does this formula come from? What is it? If you remember what the standard form of a quadratic is, so y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember that standard form for my quadratic. Then the discriminant, it's b squared minus 4ac. So if we can combine our quadratic and our linear equation to make one quadratic, then we can use this tiny little formula right here, and the value that we get from that will tell us exactly how many solutions that we have. And it doesn't particularly matter the number that we get, it's the sign of the number. So if we end up with a positive number, positive tells us that we will automatically have two solutions. And I'm going to actually say 2 real solutions. And in a couple of units, we'll see what I exactly mean by real solutions. But if we get a positive number, I'll have 2 real solutions. If I get 0, then I have 1 real solution. And if I end up getting a negative number, no matter what the number is, as long as it's negative, if I get a negative number, then I have no real solutions, or no solution at all. So no real solutions. Alright? And so I am actually going to cut off the video, and in the next video I'll show you a couple of examples. Alright? Y'all have a good day. Bye, guys.